Broward County's latest ballot debacle fueling new concerns tonight about the power of those in charge and why one of the most highly contested races could rest on how voter ballots were designed. Contact 5 investigator Katie LeGrone with more tonight. Katie.
Jay, this is a sample ballot out of Broward County, and it's how it's laid out some say will be the deciding factor in the race for U.S. Senate. Questions tonight over whether flawed ballot design could be partly to blame for Florida's latest election spectacle. It's part of the latest fallout surfacing in Broward County, where thousands of voter ballots were discovered with choices for U.S. Senate left empty. The empty ovals now fueling concerns that nearly 2 decades after the hanging Chad fiasco inspired ballot reform, does Broward County's ballot have bad design?
How important is ballot design?
Yeah, it's important.
Craig Latimer is supervisor of elections in Hillsborough County, where some 525,000 voters recently cast their vote on a ballot that hasn't changed its look in years.
This is the way we've always done it.
Turns out Florida has its own law dedicated to ballot design. It's 9 pages long and spells out everything from font size to bold type. But when it comes to voter instruction, election supervisors can cast their own votes. Check it out. In Hillsborough County, voter instruction appears at the top and in the center of the ballot. But in Broward County, voter instructions were positioned on the left side, leaving the race for U.S. Senate under those instructions, towards the bottom of the ballot.
The ballot rule specifically tells you where you can put the instructions. And there's 2 options: at the top of the ballot, centered, or flush on the left side.
Latimer says his choice to keep instructions front and center boils down to space and simplicity.
We look at it as how much space are we going to have? How much white space are we going to have? Is it going to look good? Is it going to be appealing to the voter? Is it going to be confusing to the voters?
How design may have played a role in Broward's ballot chaos is perhaps as much up in the air as the high-profile races in Florida. We're all still watching. And we're told ballot design is constantly being tweaked, and of course it will likely take a closer look. Lawmakers will take a closer look at whether or not another revision needs to be made specifically on the instruction part and whether or not that area needs to be further limited. Katie LeGrone, WPTV News, Channel 5.